Okay, welcome back to the Bronx Buzz. And I told you earlier, we're going to talk about the Bronx Times reporter and kind of a larger picture. We're going to talk to also the parent company of the Bronx Times is Schneps Media. And let's say good evening to two of the people from Schneps Media. And that is Demetra Mattone. Nice to have you with us, Demetra. And Tony Cimino, also from Schneps Media. And many people in the Bronx will recognize Laura Guerriero, who is the editor of the Bronx Times. Nice to have your debut on the Bronx Buzz. So it's the first time, right? We're going to give it a little applause. We're going to start with both Demetra and Tony, who are in their office together. I think it's the first time I've had people together. Let's talk about the power list of the Bronx. This is a fascinating concept. Many people in the Bronx know who, let's say, political leaders are, but there are many people who lead in companies and communities. Talk to me about what you're developing in coordination with the Bronx Times.
So I'm Demetra, and this is Tony, and we run the events division of Schneps along with Elizabeth Aloni and Joseph Sirica. We honor people from Montauk to New York. We're very excited about honoring our Bronx Power Listers. This is our premier event honoring Power Listers of the Bronx. So Power Listers, they are the movers, the shakers, the rainmakers, the non-for-profit, the educators, the leaders of the Bronx, who we all admire and respect. And we want to say thank you to them for making the borough a much better place to live, work, and play. So, along with Tony Cimino, we would just like to give you the details of the event coming up on December 15th.
Well, before you do that, let's just get into this a little bit, and either one of you can answer this. How do you choose who is going to be in this power list? I mean, we got 1.4 million people, and I know Bronxites. If you talk to any one of them, they'll say, me. So tell me a little bit about how you select 100 out of the 1.4 million.
So what we do, we've actually, Schneps Media has had the Long Island Press Power List for 18 years. 18 years. And we also launched our Dan's Power List of the East End this year. So what we do is we convene a committee that culls from those people who are the most influential. And the committee comes together and they determine who should be on the list. Again, from the different industries, walks of life. And as Demetra said, those people who make the Bronx a better place to live, work, play, and raise a family.
Do we nominate? Like, I mean, it'd be nice.
Yeah, we nominate. There's online.
Everybody.
No, there are online nominations. So typically we get about 3,000 nominations. And then our esteemed judging panel does filter through and make recommendations. Mm-hmm. So that is how it is done. We do want all sectors of the community to be represented. So we do pick from non-for-profits and business educators, like I said, to make sure it's a well-rounded list.
Mm-hmm. So I guess anybody can nominate somebody else.
Correct.
Right. And how many? I was going to say how many. So I guess it's 100 or 50.
Yes.
It's
so 100. It's 100. You go on BronxPowerlist.com if you'd like to nominate, or you can go to Schneps Media and go to events. You'll see a nomination form under our events division, and we welcome everyone to join in and nominate that special someone.
That special someone's not Valentine's Day. We want somebody who's actually had some effect on.
Well, that special someone who made a difference, of course.
Who made a difference? That's what we want. This is a very interesting time, I think, and I've been a reader of the Bronx Times for a very long time. So before we bring Laura into the conversation, just talk to me about the nature of the publication and why this publication, more than any other in the Bronx, is perfectly appropriate for this kind of activity.
So the Bronx Times has had a 40-year history of being grassroots.
I'm going to applaud while you do that. That's okay.
Yes, you're right. Embedded in the community. We work, and Laura and her team do a yeoman's job of this. We work very closely with the rainmakers, the elected officials, those people who are changing the Bronx for the better. So this is why we are so, well suited for this. We are grassroots. We're boots on the ground, and nobody knows the Bronx better than we do.
Or better than the Bronx Sun, but maybe better than Laura, although I would compete with Laura a little bit.
Well,
So
Laura
listen,
is our expert.
there you go. So I've been doing Bronx Talk, which is my other program, for 27 years, and I thought I was all that. Then I see that the Bronx Times is celebrating 40 years. And so, Laura, have you been, am I allowed to ask, have you been with the paper all this time?
I've been with the paper 34 years.
34, but who's counting?
Yeah.
Talk, I believe, and I'm an avid reader. I never miss an issue, and I read cover to cover. Talk to me about the growth of the paper right now. I mean, it used to be kind of one neighborhood or another neighborhood. You're
Right.
focusing on the East Bronx. I mean, we know that that's what the origin of the paper is. But talk to me about the expansion of the paper and where it's at now. You're covering everything in the borough.
Yeah. So it was founded in 81, and we just had the one publication, which was the Bronx Times Reporter. And then I believe it was 1983 where we came up with the Mars Park edition. And then I think it was like 1996, when we came up with 4 more editions, and that is the Bronx Times.
So what I read is, I always thought I read a general edition. I'm reading something that pertains to my neighborhood in the Van Cortlandt part of the Bronx, or Kingsbridge.
Correct.
Oh,
And then we try to put most of the same stories, because I always felt, and I still do, that you could be on the opposite end of the Bronx and you still want to know what's going on in the rest of the borough.
Well,
So,
we know each other a long time, and I feel the same way.
exactly.
I mean, we've had politicians talk about one Bronx enough to know. But I believe that there's been tremendous growth, frankly, since Schneps Media has been involved.
Absolutely.
You have great writers, and again, instead of just reading about one part of the Bronx, we're reading about all parts of the Bronx.
Mhm.
Are there people, and I know there are, who founded the paper, who deserve the credit from the beginning,
Absolutely.
who had the vision that this is what the Bronx needs?
Yep.
Let's
So,
go.
John Colazzi and Assemblyman Michael Benedetto were the
He was not an assemblyman at that time, though.
No, he was a teacher. Yeah.
He was a teacher.
He was a teacher. Yep. And then so they founded the paper in 81. And then a few years later, Mike went back to teaching, but John continued with the paper. I guess it was in 2006.
Okay.
John, who had taken on a partner, David Keesman,
I remember David.
sold the paper to News Corporation. News
I
Corporation
remember
at the
that.
time, was buying all of the community newspapers. So then a few years after that, the Goodsteins then bought the paper from
and here we are.
So I think it's 2018 that Schneps bought.
As editor of the paper, when you wake up on presumably a weekday and you come into work, what is it that you're saying to yourself, this is what I want to do today, or this is what we want?
It's in my blood. I mean,
you don't say it to yourself anymore.
No, I just love newspaper work, and I just always loved it. We did this year hire a new editor. So Christian Falcone is our new editor,
right.
And he's really beefed up our digital presence. I
want to ask you about that, and I mean, we've had to convert now to working out of our homes instead of being in the studio. But the challenge for newspapers, where you're used to giving out papers, now I don't want to say it's old fashioned, because I still get the hard paper in my hand.
Right.
But you have a revamped website that's frankly pretty good. If you're interested in the Bronx, click around.
Absolutely.
Is that a challenge?
Well, for someone like me, it is. Really digital, our age group. It took us a while, So having the younger people, like I said, Chris Falcone, we have Robbie Secure, we have Jason Cohen. Those are our other reporters.
Jason is prolific as anybody who's ever written paper, for papers in the Bronx.
Absolutely.
I mean, I read it and I say, well, who wrote this? And it's like, oh, Jason wrote it. Oh,
right. Right.
And Robbie is getting there too.
Yeah.
All right. So before we run out of time, let's go back to Demetra and Tony, and let's talk. So when is the event? The event is December 15th.
Correct. So if you go to bronxpowerlist.com, it'll give you additional information. But verbally, I will say it is September 15th, 5 to 9 p.m. 5 to 6 will be our VIP hour for just our Powerlist honorees to meet and greet with each other.
And by the way, this will be done in person?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, we are doing this event in person. It will be at Maestro's.
Okay.
It will be on, again, December 15th, and our domain is bronxpowerlist.com. So we welcome everyone to join in and send in their nominations.
And how long are the nominations going to be open?
They'll be open until November 15th.
Okay, so right now is the time we're talking.
Yeah.
And we're going to generate it. You can read the paper and read about it and
yeah,
and all that kind of stuff.
And honestly, we already have 30 honorees lined up. So the minute we hit our max, we will be closing nominations, but we do want everyone to feel able that they can join in and send in their nominations.
Yeah, let's not think of the word close. Let's say it's open right
It's
now.
open for now. Come on.
All right, let's do it now, Laura. What do you got? Special editions coming up? You got something interesting coming up?
Well, we just had a 52-page 9/11.
Oh,
20th anniversary, so that was a very big addition. But yes, we have our pink paper coming up.
Oh, that's very important.
Yes, that we've done that for several years now. So that'll be coming up in the beginning of October.
And it's pink
for breast cancer.
Commemoration for breast cancer, and understand that this is a very important issue.
Correct.
All right, listen, guys, thank you so much. Demetra Mattone, Tony Cimino from Schneps Media, my buddy Laura Guerriero from the Bronx Times Reporter. Thanks so much for all the great work you do. Let's nominate, let's participate. Go online, bxtimes.com, and you'll be able to read the paper. And we'll one Bronx. There we are. We'll do it right around the Bronx Times and Bronx Net Television. Of course.
That's right.
There we go. Anyway, thanks, folks. And again, thank you to Ben Adler from, he's the climate editor of Yahoo News for the first part of our show. And guess what? We'll see you next week. Good night.